Oh, dude, that thing scared me. It went huge.
What's up?
The cameras went huge on like it blew up and kind of freaked me out. We are, but we're live.
What up?
Yeah, what up? There's nobody else. Hey, we're live. All right, so in honor of Ghostbuster Day, and the fact I love Matt when he tries different beers and he doesn't like them and gets
especially the microbrewery beers that you drink
and getting his we're gonna get his natural reaction on caught on tape. It should be good. It's Wild Leap blueberry lemonade sour ale with natural flavors.
Sure, I'll just read it.
I did. I just showed it.
Did you? And that's a cool one. Yeah.
Wild Leap Brewery. I think that's in Columbus, Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, it'll begin. Should say where it's from.
And it comes in the
I threw it away.
No Kill Turtle 6-pack containers.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know.
It doesn't say that.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. I looked it up before, but So we're going to do this first. Just kind of break the ice on my very first YouTube stream.
Yeah, because that over here is a beer snob.
If you ever follow me on Twitch or Twitter, Twitter, Instagram, then you know that I have a beer maybe every once in a while when I'm streaming. This is
the only time you ever drink is when you're with me or Lonnie or.
So this is my first stream. God, how long has been since I actually streamed? I went live on Instagram a couple weeks ago. We went Bigfoot hunting or woolly booger hunting. We definitely want to do that more. I don't know how dangerous it is if there is a big hairy monkey out there, but you know,
could be that. Saying in the woods could be that.
I mean, yeah, it could be here. Snake. So yeah, that's just one thing. Another thing that I've talked about with my daughter, and she's interested. She wants to do it. Is a little bit of storm chasing, which I wouldn't go out of state. I'd stay. I live in Alabama. I would stay in Alabama and do that. So that's been on my mind recently. Just content stuff. It's Alabama. I didn't tell them exactly where I live.
I could tell them. You want me to?
I didn't tell them.
Share.
I didn't tell them I lived in your bedroom. So, anyways, all right. So, without further ado, I'm gonna stop saying so because I know it's annoying. Without further ado, we're gonna try this. Can I see your glass, sir?
Yes.
Yes, you.
The special glass that you told me to bring because.
Well, you're not drinking out of cans and not like it because I ain't getting your germs. My germs.
I don't think you can get HIV through saliva, so you'd be okay.
All right. So. Said it again. All right, on 3, we're going to try this. I've tried it, but it's been...
Okay. You want to tell me what kind of beer this is?
It's a blueberry lemonade sour.
See, this is why you're a beer snob. Why are you going to describe your beer like more than 3 or 4 words? This is ridiculous.
You asked me what it was. I told you. I understand.
Is it a stout?
It's a sour. It's a sour. It's a sour.
Okay.
This is what I deal with on a daily basis.
And this is what I deal with on a daily basis.
He is, and you're going to see more of us together, hopefully, doing more content because we have a really good time doing this stuff. So, on 3, we're going to try together. It's been a while since I had it, so.
We're gonna do this the right way, too. Get up and
we're going to do like roll tide
in there. Teaches you how to really drink whiskey. Oh, it's hilarious.
You smell it.
Oh, yeah. Get in there. No, get your nose right in there. It's hilarious.
But be like roll tide, like, get you a smell of that. Get your smell.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not making fun of you. That's actually true. I follow you. I watch you. I love you. Roll Tide. Willie. I love you, Willie. And Chad. Chad, you're good. You're good people too. All right.
It is Pride Month, so there we go.
They're not gay.
Oh, and you just said you loved them.
Oh. Anyways, let's try this on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Say they're gay. Say you guys are gay.
All right.
That's better when you're.
1, 2, 3.
Holy crap! Actually brought me a beer that tastes good. Oh,
That's really good.
that's not bad. Here's the problem: I would never be able to drink 12 of these, and beer's not good unless you can drink at least 12.
Why couldn't you drink 12 of them?
12 of them.
Yeah, why couldn't you just said you can't drink 12 of them.
Because that aftertaste is very heavy lemonade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it tastes good. Don't get me wrong. But it would end up being like the Pepsi challenge. Like, I would get a little sweet, on beer alone.
The more you drink, yeah.
Beer 12. Like, and how much is the alcohol content?
5.5.
Oh, God, please. You need at least 12. No. No. It is a good beer. It tastes good.
So have you ever had a sour?
Yes. It's got everything.
So what would you rank that as far as a sour? Any sours you've had?
It's up there because it tastes good.
Actually, absolutely. I mean, you're working on it, but it's got a lot of guava and all bullshit.
Yeah. My thing is, does it taste and does it get you drunk? It's a little lower content.
Yeah.
It is, and it is a little overpowering.
Did I say rate or rank? Because if I said rank, I've been watching too many Willy videos. Rate. If I said rank, I'm sorry.
It means it's a rank cat.
I know, but it's a rank cat, really. I don't want to sound too Alabama-ish. I mean, I do live in Alabama. But, anyways.
I lost my train of thought there.
I don't.
Rate.
So, rate?
It's a little overpowering. But for one, if you're having a beer or two, that's not going to be
the first thing I tasted.
Tastes good.
First thing I tasted was the blueberry. Then the lemon boom.
So blueberry.
Overpowered.
None.
For that.
Everything was lemonade, yeah, still.
So, I'll say that
that's pure lemonade.
I drank. Well, now you got the lemon. I think so. Once you've had a nice gulp of it, or however you drink beer, the blueberry kind of goes away because
It's blueberry beer.
When I took that first sip, gulp, whatever you call it, I tasted the hint of that blueberry, and then the lemonade kicked in, and now it's more lemonade than bluebeer.
If you're a connoisseur, I just drink to get drunk. I drink for a purpose.
Absolutely.
It does taste good. Don't get me wrong. It is overpowering, and
he slams beers. He doesn't.
I do.
It's a purpose.
It's a bit of a slight problem. Listen to this. If it's going to take you a bunch of them to get the job done, that lemon taste is going to get on your nerves after a while.
Absolutely.
But for me, I'm looking at two. It's a good beer. I mean, if you're doing, having a beer with dinner or whatever, it's a good beer to drink.
Once again, it's wild leaf blueberry lemonade.
But if I'm starting a beer with dinner, I'm having total fries.
Something thicker, something.
Really? I mean, I can't drink Guinness with dinner. I love Guinness, but I can't drink it with dinner, or else I'm not going to eat. Because Guinness is like a 2-course meal.
That's true. What I mean by like something heavy, I was talking. We said Oktoberfest, like Sam. Good because it's not that.
That's true.
You know what's funny was I tried cherry wheat Sam Adams like a long time ago, and it tasted like coffee.
Really?
Yeah. And I tried it again. About 2-3 weeks ago. Tried it again, and it actually didn't taste bad. It actually maybe it's because back in the day I drank so much Coors Light and Miller Lite and all that light domestic stuff that it tasted. So when I got into the drinking the the heavier is like. I don't want to drink.
You see, get you there. It like a lot of most of the people tell me like when I tell them I like Guinness, they're like, "Yeah, that's gross." I don't. I can kind of understand that it does kind of take a little bit of. Like you're not gonna if you like your very first Guinness. I don't know that I actually really liked my very first Guinness.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of acquired, over a period of time. I don't know. I think it's kind of high level beer drinking. That's the upper control levels. You start with the lower levels with the lights and the lemonade beers and you know things like that. You get to the Guinness and the stouts and things like that. What are you doing?
Switching the cameras.
Huh?
I'm switching the cameras
Uh,
because when I look at you, I'm looking this way. I'm like,
it's time that I've been streaming forever. Not since I podcast, and this is the very first time that I've ever streamed, and I didn't have a view of what the stream looked like. And no, that's just gonna make me. I don't know, but to tell the truth, it's actually not that. It kind of freeing. You're not looking at it.
yes.
You just kind of do whatever the hell you do,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't have to worry about chat because we're going live and we don't have because we've never streamed on YouTube before. And
I thought it was many.
well, yeah. Well, I haven't under.
You haven't seen it.
But no, I'm
streaming
with you, yeah. And it's fine because first stream on YouTube. Yeah. All right, so now, yay! And the fun, hold on a little bit. I wanted to stream on YouTube a while ago, but you can't stream on your phone unless you have so many subscribers. And so I thought that was a dead end. And then I read up on it and realized you can stream live on YouTube with a PC or a laptop. So here we are.
My question is, why do you want to stream on your phone? I mean, for vlog stuff.
Yeah, it's always on.
Understand that. But like this kind of stuff, it's way better, way easier, way better quality when you're doing it through a laptop.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't know.
100%.
And back in the day when we were doing what we were doing, we never did vlogs stuff. Mm-hmm. So we didn't do.
You just jumped on and you just jumped on and did it. So I guess we've gone 13 minutes talking about beer, which is always fun talking about. And hopefully maybe we can start doing streams just on talking about beer.
Have you talked about the screwball?
We have not talked about screwball.
You want to bring it up?
Sure, why not? Let's just keep going. We still have the main event coming up. We're going to talk about the Peyton Randolph house in Virginia and get Matt's take on it. He's a skeptic, and we're going to get his take on it. But right now, we're just going to enjoy a little bit of the other interests we like. We do like our. Granted, we're not alcoholics, but we.
Yeah, speak for yourself. So.
I'm not alcoholic. He might be. So now we're going to get into some screwball, which I would rate this. This is a whiskey. I would rate this I would already rate it really high because I love it. It's so good. It's a peanut butter whiskey.
Screwball peanut butter whiskey. What kind of brewing company is this from? I can't even read it.
Is it
Dolger and Screwball? Okay, so it says peanut butter whiskey.
So good.
And to me, this tastes like if you've ever had a Werther's original candy, that's what it tastes like. That in a bottle. And I'm not a whiskey guy. I don't like whiskey. This stuff is great. And Fireball, please. Fireball that's rot gut stuff. This stuff is good.
Yeah, I'm not a whiskey guy either, but I love this. Since I've always wanted to try it because I love peanut. I love peanut butter, and so I wanted to try it. And Got it. And I got hooked on it. It's just so good. Now I feel like alcohol. Now I feel like alcohol. But it's really good stuff. To me, it's real. It's real. It's got that real nutty flavor.
You like nutty
Nutty
flavors.
flavor to it. He's got the Werther's. I got the.
Yeah, I don't taste peanut butter in it.
A friend. So my brother, stepbrother, he got.
Hmm. So your brother?
So yeah, so much smoother.
Man,
it's so much smoother when you put it. Yeah.
Your brother?
So my brother, he went to a restaurant, and I told him about screwball, and he found a shot. It was called a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I hear jelly. And I forgot what he said it. The other
what's the other ingredient?
Liquor was, but it was like a raspberry liqueur.
Oh, man.
And he said it tasted pretty. He said it was really tasty that sandwich.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I actually looked up raspberry liqueur. But
raspberry.
Okay, now we're breaking off into a dance. So it was, but he said it tasted like peanut butter jelly. He said it was really close to it. But screwball.
Okay. This last shot, maybe a little peanut butter flavor.
It's more subtle now.
Yeah, it's a very subtle peanut. To me, it is much more of a toffee, like kind of like a Werther's original.
Mm-hmm.
But he constantly says nutty because he likes the way nut tastes, apparently.
Peanuts.
Butter. Exactly. Peanuts. That's what I was talking about.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. So let's go. Yeah, that is really the rock. Yikes. No. I know it's Pride Month, but I'm not that way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love the gays. So anyway, stop. There. It's like, what do I say? All right. Let's get into it. Peyton Thornhouse. Matt went to Virginia, and what was it? A vacation? I guess it was.
Yeah, I went on vacation. My family to the Williamsburg, Virginia area. Very historical areas where you can. Kind of cliche at this point. Like a lot of people know about it, and we were looking for fun things to do. In that area because we were there for a week. So while we're there, we found a ghost tour. And we're definitely doing that.
So what does the ghost tour include? Like how many houses does it include?
We ended up going to I think 3 different houses.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half. You get a tour guide. Okay, so there are several groups. Williamsburg is funny. There's a town, almost like a little city, but not even little. It's kind of big. That there's no cars allowed there. It's all set up very like colonial times, and so several groups for this ghost tour will line up and they'll get a tour guide, and the guys have like lanterns and everything, and they're dressed colonial appropriate, and it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's fun. Like we had a blast. I had my daughter with me, my niece and nephew, that their mom and dad or brother-in-law or whatever. We were just having fun, saying, "Oh, this is spooky,"
freeze are out. Yeah,
it's just a thing to do.
Yeah,
and let me tell you, if you're ever there in that area, take one because it's so much fun. The tour guide was great. He was told these riveting like ghost story tales in each one of these houses that really kind of grasp you. And I love horror. Like,
Now,
I'm a big horror
let
fan.
me just make a note of this. Matt told me about this visit probably Monday, but I told him don't tell me. I don't know. I am listening to this firsthand, just like you guys are right now. So that I just want you to know that I have no clue what he's about to say, except for the fact he did tell me that he thought something was something, and that was it. So I'm getting firsthand, just like you guys are. So just wanted to make that note. But sorry about that.
So we went through the tour, and you know, look, I am a skeptic. I am a born skeptic. I've never seen anything that I couldn't explain. Even to this day, I would sit here and tell you I'm still a skeptic, and you know, all of this is, you know, hogwash, for lack of a better word. And, we went through, and we were having, but I love getting in that spooky mood,
Yeah.
and having fun with just getting scared, and you know, getting in the stories. We're talking no lights in these houses. These houses are old historical houses built in the 1700s.
So did you go during the day or
No,
no? And you said there's no lights in the house?
no. There's no electricity.
So what did you use? Flashlights?
Lanterns.
Torches.
Torches.
A torch.
Lanterns lit the way, and they have several areas where they had to leave lanterns because, you know, probably because of legal reasons, because there's some steps and things like that people could trip over. But we went through the first house, the second house. You know, they were great. Don't get me wrong. There were creepy stories, fun stories where he was doing the you know, he was his heel down on the hardwood floors and everything. Get a jump scare out of everybody, and it was great. It got one out of me, you know, because it's everything is pitch black dark, and you're in this.
How many lanterns are in the group? Just one lantern?
Just one. And he's holding it. Yeah, the tour guide's holding it.
And so it's pitch black dark behind this.
It's what's doing. And it's pitch black. Yeah. There's no lights, no nothing. No sound of electricity, anything like that. What?
Bouncing
the tail?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I try to keep my arms
a little too
yeah. So, where was I? We went to the first house.
got scared.
Yes. And so we started going through the houses. The guys telling the stories, they're great. They really are. The guy's very talented. We were having a blast, really having fun, you know?
Yeah.
That's all it was. I mean, it's just a fun time. We get to the last house. The last house is the... Huh?
Is that you? Was that you?
What are you talking about?
I thought my phone moved. Is that you?
No.
The last house you get to, so you
Peyton Randolph.
So you go through the first two houses, and you're not feeling anything. Now he's in the description or in the title, he is a skeptic. He doesn't believe in the paranormal.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I need to bring that clip up. I wish okay. It's gonna be probably audio only. But I'm gonna bring a clip up in just a minute. Should I bring that now or should I? I don't, because I want you. Well, you're stuck. Well, we stopped at you're going to the third house, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to throw you off because you're on a moment. I don't want to throw your momentum off, but I do want to play this clip
of what?
Of you saying.
Yeah, it's a short clip. If you want to play it, you can play
So I'm going to play it. It's just going to be audio only, but it's absolutely hilarious because
this clip from years ago.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't believe in ghosts. I never have.
So clip. We're gonna play. It's gonna be audio only, but you'll get it. I promise. It's so funny. I should have had it already brought up, but you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so ready to be haunted. I'm not joking. Like, I know it's gonna
I
suck
have
if it
never
happens.
ever heard of anybody saying I'm ready to be haunted. I've never.
Well, I hear
heard
it from
that.
you all the time.
I don't
because
want to
you've
be
been haunted.
I
If it
feel
happens
like
to anyone, I assume that
Not yet.
I feel left out. Like I want to be haunted.
like there's like this group of folks that have these paranormal experiences, and I never felt anything like it. And for the longest time, like, it started to feel like, okay, this is a elite club that I'm just not invited to.
And the reason why we were in that conversation where he said, "I'm so ready to be haunted," was because I've had paranormal experiences. If you're new to any of my content, I think I've got some stuff saved on Twitch. It's at Bateman Twitch. If not, I will move it over to YouTube so you can find it easier if that's the case. But I do have had some paranormal experiences, like probably at least 8 paranormal experiences.
Yeah, this is weird stuff.
So this is where he gets into I'm so ready to be haunted, and he says this spiel, and I'm like, nope, I'm not. That's not me. And then he has this coming up now. This is where he's like, okay, I've had my moment. I don't want to be haunted. So
hold on, wait. So you have to understand that's not saying that I have been in. Can I say that?
yeah,
I haven't even think about this. I'm not. It's not that. Like, I believe that you have seen whatever you've seen. Huh?
from the table.
Oh, I'm sorry. I believe that you never say that you do not believe.
Yeah.
You know, I totally believe that you.
I mean, in playing it,
It's always think there's a logical explanation, and that's it. You know, that's where my skepticism ends.
in a boat.
That guy that says, "Oh, well, screw you." There's, I'm not. If you've had an experience with something crazy, I'm gonna be the first one that wants to hear the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love hearing that stuff. It scares me.
So he's a skeptic, but he's a scared person.
For sure. I'm not gonna complain about. And herein there lies a problem. So the Randolph house.
Okay, so we're going back. So this is the third house on the tour, and he's going into the Peyton Randolph house. This is the last house on the tour, and he's now entering this house, and he's going to go from there.
It's you can Google it, the Peyton Randolph house. It's a famous house. It's like from the 1700s. It's had like 30 people die in it, and I'm going to check those stories about this house. After we were done, I looked at I Googled it, and I saw these Google listings. And I'm like, dude, if I had read this before I would have laughed at every one of these. You don't understand. I walked into that house without knowing anything about history. And I knew from the moment I stepped into this place, it was weird. I didn't know what kind of weird. It's not like I thought, like, there's a spirit in here. I didn't think, there's something's going to get me.
Yeah.
It just felt weird.
Yeah.
Things felt weird. Things felt odd.
So the was like the hair on the back of your neck stood up or something
like that. It just felt weird. Like it was different than the other two.
Okay.
When I first walked in, we proceeded to walk in, and we went into the main. In 1700 houses, like the colonial houses, the first room that you walk into, I guess some people call it parlor or whatever. Normally there's a staircase there. It was like tradition to make those rooms big and very gaudy and to show off your wealth and your status in that first room. Because most people saw that first room. Some people, especially back then, didn't have the class to they weren't in that class or whatever to get any further than the first.
So they couldn't get past the first room.
They were slippery back in their steps. So different time.
In those days, would they make you a slave, or would you be like, kind of the upper class?
I was Irish, dude. I was a slave when my family
Not Irish. I was probably a slave too.
yeah, we worked in the fields next to
Yeah.
slaves, and we were slaves too.
Well, there you have it, folks. We were going to be slaves too.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, if you don't think white slavery exists, you're
It did.
completely wrong.
Absolutely.
Look at your history.
Absolutely.
But regardless, so we walk into this area, very beautiful staircase in the middle of this room. Huge door. I have pictures that I'll give to them, and he can do whatever he wants with them if he wants to.
Or he can put them on his Instagram, and I can link that to you through my Instagram. I think you do have it.
Okay.
He doesn't even. He does, but we'll have to go back and find him. But he'll upload on his Instagram, and I'll link it on my stories, or I'll post them on mine too, so you can see them and go to his there.
So we all file into this room. This room, huge staircase, huge door. It's not a regular front door. It's like take your front door and multiply it by maybe 2, maybe even 3. Very, very, very wide.
So this is a room. This is a room.
Yeah, it's a room. It's the first room that you
Is it like a
enter. No. So first room, if you open the front door, this is what you're looking at.
Ah, okay.
And it's a room that has several doors running off of it, and a staircase that leads upstairs.
Okay.
So it's the first room that you see when you walk in. It's beautiful, beautiful architecture. Awesome. Especially for the time. Yeah, they have awesome like wood carving and everything. Anyway. So out there, my sister-in-law and my niece and nephew who are with my sister-in-law are across. They when we file in, they are across from us, closer to the back of the room. Just so happens.
So they're in the.
They're in the group with us, but they're just across.
So you're on like one side of the room. So
yes,
it is a big room.
Yeah, it's a big room, and it's a big group.
Is it like a dining room or something? Or
no.
It's a bedroom.
It's a what do you call that? A parlor? When you a foyer.
Okay.
When you walk into
It's a big foyer. Okay.
It's big.
Right.
And it's a big man. Well, it's not a mansion. It's actually a pretty small home, but. For the 1700s, I mean, it was the
some sections. Yeah, some sections of houses like that are huge, and you're like, wow,
before the White House was made, like everybody, Washington came through there. I mean, all these historical figures have a story about that house, and most of the stories deal with the paranormal. It's weird. Yeah, General Lafayette has a huge story about being
General Lafayette.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I mean, it's historically known. This didn't just happen, with the rise of haunted houses and haunted tours in the 2000s. This was going on for a long time. This is for a very, very long time. This has been a haunted area. So anyway.
So even back in the 1700s, it was haunted. It was a haunt.
Yes, it was a weird.
So they built it on a graveyard, maybe?
No, well, okay, so get there.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of different.
Okay.
A lot of different people have different theories on why these things are happening.
Okay.
So anyway, once the group files in, again, a very big group where it's very, very dark, and we kind of get separated from our core group, which is my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, niece, nephew, me, my daughter. That's our core group.
So you got separated.
Yeah, we kind of got separated. So it's me and my brother-in-law now, and my daughter.
Okay.
Kind of on one side of the room.
Okay.
Across from us, a huge room or whatever. There's probably 30 some odd people in this store. Across from us, on the other side of the room, is my sister-in-law and my niece and my nephew. We can see each other. We just filed in it, And the tour guide walks kind of halfway up the staircase and begins his speech, and he's talking about what happened in the house and things like that. So we just kind of take our places.
Okay.
You don't want to shuffle around. He's doing his thing. You want to kind of
You want to be able to be attentive and not mess with
Exactly.
just trying to listen.
Exactly. So me and my brother-in-law and my daughter found ourselves in the corner of the room facing the staircase. And behind us is a door. Okay?
Okay.
I noticed almost immediately the door was open. It was cracked. Okay, you may think, understandably, that doesn't mean anything.
No.
Why would that be weird? Well, the reason why that's weird is because every single house we walked into, they have to be very careful about the entrances and the exits and where they let you or allow you to walk into.
And a lot of doors that are closed are locked.
They're locked or closed because they don't want you to walk in there and fall because it's dark. There is no electricity in these houses. So it's like when your power goes out, you realize how darkness affects.
So is it warmer in that house because there's no electricity in there? So I mean,
Yeah.
do they? It's like, do they have fans in there or something that could kind of try to cool off?
No, man, no.
So you're walking in a house with no electricity, no heat, no cooling. You're just frying your stuff.
Yeah. Night, especially in Virginia's, it's
kind of cool.
It's hot, but it wasn't like Alabama hot where the humidity, right? It just wasn't there.
Because I've been in Virginia, and I know our buddy's been. He goes to Virginia. But when I would go in July, about the third week of July, and it was maybe in the 80s. The water, man, because it was a lake house we'd stay at.
Yeah.
And the water, man, some days it'd be nice and about 70, and then some days it'd be like in the 60s. It'd be cold.
Yeah.
But it was like temperate. It was like bath water kind of.
Yeah. It was around the 80s, but
it wasn't hot.
Yeah, in Alabama in the 80s,
Humidity,
oh God, it's awful.
Yeah.
But there it's not awful.
It's pleasant.
Yeah, it's not that bad. We're fine.
Okay. Sorry.
But I understand what you're saying because it is totally different in Virginia. It's very odd.
Yeah.
Alabama, man, we're swamp people. I mean, we really are, dude. Like, if you walk outside, you're sweating.
Yeah.
Anytime in the summer, you walk outside, you're sweating.
Especially when where we work, we have to wear shirt and tie, and you're sweating when you walk out the door to get in your car.
And 6
o'clock in the morning.
These tour guides are wearing colonial garb. I'm like,
straight sweat beads on, or
some of them, I guess, a few times were sweating, but we were in Virginia. The weather's not that bad.
Yeah.
Now, I was only there a week, so I mean, like, if somebody's listening and they're from Virginia, they're like, that I sure can. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying my time there. So to get back to it, so me and my brother-in-law and my daughter are in the corner, and so I did notice that this door is cracked. Okay, again, that's not weird. When you're hearing that, it doesn't sound weird. Because you don't understand how very, very, very careful they are about not letting you walk into an area where you could hurt yourself. Everything is roped off.
What did you notice about that door being open? Did you notice anything? Was it straight? Was it?
No.
Did you feel anything coming out? Like any
When I first noticed it, all I noticed is that the door was open. And I thought, it's odd because every door that you see during this tour, if you're walking through it, it's closed.
So no strange sounds coming out of that room. No air.
Not immediate.
Okay.
Not immediate.
Okay.
And my back is against.
Think about closing the door just to close it.
No. I didn't think about it. I just thought, it's funny. And then me and my daughter, who's sitting to my left, my back is to the door, and my brother-in-law is right next to me, to my left. So anyway, that's it. And then the tour guide started his spiel,
Okay.
and he was great. So it's a riveting story.
Did you tell him anything about the door being open?
No.
Okay.
So as he's talking, I start hearing something. And it's not something faint. It's not something that I have to guess at. It's very distinctly something behind me in the room next to us. It sounded like somebody was in there,
Okay.
and they didn't want to be found out. They were trying to be quiet.
Okay.
Immediately, I thought, this is a guy, not Peyton. He's going to jump out and scare us. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Immediately I thought, never happened.
So what he's saying is, so to elaborate more, what Matt's saying is, it sounded like someone was trying to be sneaky, and
I heard shifting of weight, like somebody was sitting in a chair and shifting their weight back and forth. And I also heard breathing, a heavy breathing, but almost like they were trying to not be heard.
yeah.
It's very hard to describe that if you can, but think of that.
So imagine you trying to sneak around, or imagine you doing what he's saying, and then that will give you the sensation or the sound of what he heard, and that will probably put in perspective of what. Oh wow, okay, I get it now. Because it took me a second. It took me a second going. Okay, and so that made more sense to me. So put yourself in those shoes of what he heard, and then you realize, oh wow, it sounds like a human being doing that, but there's nothing there. This is what you're saying, right? Correct?
Correct, but I assumed there's something, and they're going to make a loud noise.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know, a setup. Okay.
That was part of the tool.
Mm-hmm.
And soon after, my brother heard the very same thing, and he was pointing to me and pointing at the door, and did this, and was like,
so this is a door that was cracked open,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. He was like, to signal, hey, are you here? And I'm like, yeah. I'm pointing to it, thinking, telling him, oh, something's coming out of there.
Yeah.
And someone thinking,
yeah.
There's going to be somebody coming out right behind us.
Spook.
There never was. The story ended, and we walked out of this place. Okay? And I went up to my brother-in-law and said,
so creepy.
What happened? What was that? Brother-in-law told me the same thing that I was feeling. He said, I don't know.
That's creepy, dude.
I have no clue. So it bothered me. It bothered me because when I have been spooked before many times. What I do is I go and find out what that was. I couldn't do that in this situation because the house was locked off. And it bothered me that night.
With that door being cracked open, did you let the tour guide know? Hey, man, I think there's somebody back there, like screwing around.
Apparently, nobody.
But you didn't tell the tour guide.
No, I did before we left. Okay. I asked. We both asked. We both asked them, hey, is there anybody in that house? And he said, no. No, we have these houses checked. And they do. There's a story about them checking this house. In fact, that I found out later, but we can talk about that after.
Yeah.
So, here's what happened. The next day, I was so it to me because I couldn't figure out what the logical explanation was. Because I was sure there was a logical explanation. So me and my daughter went back to the house, and we sat in line to get because there's a during the daylight hours, and they tour you all through the place, show you all the different rooms that you're not able to see at night.
Yeah,
because can't walk upstairs and things like that at night. Um, and things like that. So anyway, so nobody else showed up to this tour, which is very odd because every tour that we went through, there were tons of
Pretty
people.
packed, right?
So me and my daughter and the tour, that's it. So basically we had a private tour. So I told them, it's very frank. I was like, look, I'm here because this is what happened yesterday. And he said, yeah, I want this house.
The tour guys, you had okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He said, this place, it's weird. And he said, I don't go looking for that stuff. I said, have you seen anything? Heard anything? He said, I've never seen anything, but again, I don't go looking for it.
Yeah.
But he said, I did hear something. I'll tell you what he heard a little later. Because there's a lot of lore behind all this.
Yeah.
We toured the entire place. We looked, and he probably took us places other groups didn't go because it was just me and my daughter. That's it. He was telling us everything. It was awesome.
And she was eating this now. His daughter is younger, and she was eating this up.
Yeah, she was loving it. Yeah.
Awesome.
11 years old. Yeah. So we came. He told us, "Tell me when we come to the place that you heard what you heard, whatever." And we came to that place, and he said, "Yep, this is where a lot of things are heard." And I said, "Right through that door."
So which room is this?
This is that first room.
Okay.
And right back
So the what we call it?
well, it's a foyer.
Okay, the foyer room that we
It took to 10 minutes.
Well, so when you walk in the house, it's right there. So in that first room you walk in. That's insane. And there's a door, I guess, to the back of you, or what was the door at? Like you walk in, and
Doors to
your right, and the door to the right. And that was not part of the tour. You didn't go in that room. All right, so clearly,
when we did this door, the doors were locked. So, and I'm thinking to myself,
did you ask the tour guide about this? Like, this door was.
He brought us there. And what did we find? You went in about 3 or 4
We're going to build this up real quick. Okay, build this up. Let's get this going.
There's a lot more to be said about a lot of things. And we can get into them after, but...
so you walk in the room.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you see? What's the first thing that sticks out when you walk in that room?
The first thing?
That sticks out when you walk in.
There's plexiglass, right? So you walk into the room about 3 feet, and there's a wall of plexiglass around. Okay. In a lot of these historical homes, they have a wall of plexiglass to keep people from getting in there and touching these artifacts that are hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're super valuable. They have chests, and these are historical artifacts. They're from the period, and they're a lot of money.
So this throws me off.
So they put the plexiglass up so you can't go and touch something, right?
Yeah.
Well, I walk in 3 or 4 steps into the room, and I see the plexiglass that I've seen in a bunch of these other houses. So the area that you can walk into in this room is like, a bathroom.
Yeah.
The rest of the room is behind plexiglass. What's in there?
How much plexiglass was in this particular Peyton Randolph house? How much plexiglass? Okay, so this wasn't the only room that had it. But
that's part of the push for most of these houses.
Okay, so I was just curious. Yeah. Okay, so what he's saying is, and I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to figure out, and paint this picture for you too. Is all these rooms plexiglass, or is there some plexiglass here and there because of the valuables in there?
Yes.
And so what you're saying is like
super. Like he showed us an area that was called it was basically a storage closet.
Yeah.
It had like 4 or 5 trunks Each one of these trunks were lined inside with newspapers from the 1700s. These things were priceless artifacts.
How
So
did
they
they
were
preserve?
behind plexiglass.
How did they preserve the newspapers?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't.
So did they have it like in, I guess like magic or
We couldn't get that close.
okay?
They wouldn't allow.
I'm just curious because I don't know how much. Yeah.
So right there at the door is a layer of plexiglass, and they don't. I mean, you think about it. These tour guides are leading 20, 30 people through a
Yeah.
house. So they put up plexiglass so big dumbasses can't, reach over and touch a 17-year truck.
Because
Because somebody, yeah, somebody
in your fingers could tarnish something,
Exactly.
mess it up. And
somebody
Yeah.
has several times and screwed
Yep.
stuff up.
Yep.
What I didn't know though is that room that I heard that in. It was one of those rooms that were plexiglass off. So what that room was making?
So no one gave you an exclamation.
It was lying.
No explained you explanation.
Me and my brother-in-law asked the guy, "Is there anybody in that house?" And the guy said, "There's nobody in that house." We thought he was lying. We thought it was part of the tour. I still kept thinking it was a logical explanation. It's somebody messing with us.
Yes.
How could they mess with it? They can't. The people that work there can't get plexiglass.
Yeah.
It's part of their, the way they keep things safe. Everything stays on the other side. You can walk like 3 feet maybe into that room. Where is somebody sitting there, creaking their weight back and forth and breathing heavy? If they were there, they were right behind me.
And you didn't. There was no one behind you.
Yeah.
And in that room, you said in that room there's only 3 feet of space before you hit plexiglass.
Something like that. I didn't take out a measure, but
Nowhere for not. There's enough room for someone to be, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Why would you sit in a pitch black room waiting to scare somebody, and you're sitting there
for
saying it's like no one in this place is haunted. Would you? If I knew this place was haunted, I wouldn't sit in a pitch black room with 3 foot of space between plexiglass and something else to scare somebody, because I know for a fact, and I say this because I've experienced it, and I'm sensitive to this stuff because I hear it. I can hear. I've heard disembodied voices, and it's not cool. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it anymore, and hopefully it never happens again. But I don't want to sit in a haunted house or a house that's got paranormal activity that's been documented since 1700s. I don't want to sit in there in the pitch black waiting to scare somebody, because I guarantee you, with the experiences I've been through, I'm going to hear something's going to scare the crap out of me. I'm going to run out screaming. No, I won't do that. But I couldn't sit in there. I'm just not. Sorry.
People see
I'm out.
2 kids, 2 ghost kids. They hear balls rolling. There's been 30 people that have died in this house.
Where do they hear the ball rolling? What floor is that?
Normally it's upstairs, and we went upstairs. And
how many floors is this? This is
just
a 2-story house.
Yeah.
It's a 2-story house.
Our tour guide, the one that we had when we kind of had the private tour, he said he had heard the ball rolling and immediately left the house. There are security guards that won't go there by themselves. One of the reasons why is one of the security guards in the cellar, they have electric lights. The reason why is because inside the cell it's very dangerous. You can trip on things and stuff like that. So during these ghost tours, these houses have to be checked twice by law, right?
Okay.
So they send in security guards to check just to make sure there's no crazy people in there, right?
Okay.
At one point, a security guard went in there and checked the cellar inside this house, and somebody shut the door and locked it. And then a few minutes after, the lights went off, and he sat down there until somebody came and got him for hours. Well, not hours. I don't think it was hours, but they noticed he was missing. They went looking for him, and when they opened the door, the guy, of course, face white, whatever. They still, to this day, don't know how because they checked everything. They checked the house.
Did he say anything happened to him down there?
He said that he couldn't move. He couldn't move his legs. I think that was probably just because he was so scared. I mean, sometimes when you get afraid, you kind of freeze or whatever. The lights went off. Something locked him in that cell.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little weird. I mean, like I don't. It would freak me out. I'm a skeptic, but it was still scared the crap out of me. So anyway, a lot of things happen. A lot of things are heard, and I knows this.
So how did you know?
Heard and
What did you feel? How did you? Because we briefly touched on how you felt, but we don't know. The people watching and listening don't know what you felt, what you thought was in your presence, what was around, what the energy you felt that was around.
I just thought it was a person. That's it. The entire time I thought it was a part of the tour. Somebody was going to jump out and scare us, and I was waiting for it. Didn't look like an idiot. Screaming.
Absolutely.
There with 30 other people. I want to scream like a little because it was scary. Well, I swear I thought there was a person there. That's it. I didn't feel maleficence or whatever. Now, I will say when we walked into the place, I did feel weird. Take from that what you want. I can't say that
Did you
was
feel like
evil.
So you can't say it felt evil.
It felt spooky. It felt weird, and it did feel like this is probably not a good place for me to be. If I was alone, there's no way in hell I would have gone in that house. I don't. That's the only way I can explain it. Like it wasn't a scary feeling,
It was,
but it wasn't. It wasn't something good. Like
something was there.
Yeah,
Is what you're saying. Something was in something
inhospitable.
In the 3 houses that he visited there. Now, granted, people have felt weird things in the other 2 houses.
Other houses. Ghost stories around those other houses.
Absolutely. So in those 2 houses, Matt didn't feel anything. Of course, there's stories to those houses too. There's some table, but there's great.
Great.
Give me a story about one of the houses.
Was not Burke's house, but it's an awesome story about. First of all, this was in the paper. This is a true story. It's not a ghost story. This father, he had a dog, and his daughter died. And in those days, like with tuberculosis,
is this the Matt? What was her name? And this ain't the one where she came back, right? Is this her?
Yeah, she came back.
Is this the one we talked about before?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they buried you pretty quick in those days because of tuberculosis, things like that. It was just a way of trying to keep diseases. People know about this.
Where it first goes, right? Is that what it is?
It's exactly what's her name? No. This is different. That's different.
It's not her. It's not her.
No.
So this is a totally different story. Oh wow. Okay, let's go.
So they buried. They thought she died.
I was broken her up. Sorry.
And they took her. They buried her. They had a funeral. He was a rich man. He gave her jewels, they laid her to rest, and he went home to more. And he was drinking that night. It was a very windy night, kind of a stormy night. And he kept thinking he heard his daughter, and he drank himself to sleep that night. Well, he woke up. He found his daughter outside. And what happened was this: they put her in the cemetery. She was still alive.
Dug herself up.
This is way worse. This is the paper again. This actually happened. It's not just a ghost story.
Okay.
Some farmers heard that she was with all these jewels. He was a rich man. They buried her with these jewels. They dug her up and stole all her jewelry. They tried to take some of her fingers, but because she was in such a state, her fingers were swollen. So they started snipping. They got 9 fingers snipped off. Yeah, she had one finger. And she woke up. Exactly. Then she calls herself to her father's house, her own
Bleeding to death.
bleeding to death, bleeding, from being buried alive. Goes through your brain. It actually happened, dude. Again,
Yeah.
in the newspaper. This isn't a fictitious story. And is trying to get into her father's house. That's probably what he heard. And collapses and dies of hypothermia right before she can get in the house.
What?
And again, her ghost is supposed to haunt that house. If it does, okay, but I didn't see anything like that. It's a great story, though. Oh, well, it's a horrible story.
It's horrible.
Horrible story.
But
Yeah.
wow.
But I mean, let me tell you, when somebody dressed in colonial, garb with a lantern,
Looking this up.
and you're sitting in the house that happened in, the room where the guy had drank himself to sleep that night, dude, it hits hard. It really does. It slaps. That story slaps, and it freaks you out. It does. But we didn't feel anything. We didn't hear anything.
Can't find a name. It won't give me a name. I found it.
I did eventually because it's in the paper.
It's insane. It's right here. It's insane.
It's in the paper from like the 1700s, and there are George Washington had a couple lines in his will that said, "When I die, do not bury me for three days."
Marjorie McCall?
I think that was her name, yeah.
Marjorie McCall.
And apparently the reason why he said don't bury me for 3 days is because he heard the story. And he was freaked out about it and wanted to make sure that he was dead when they buried him.
Make sure I'm dead. Dead.
Like, well, I'm like, of course it was well known.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, and that's not this happened. So it was. Yeah, it's a freaky story. But let me tell you, being in the house was like sitting by a campfire.
So this is not the Peyton Randolph house.
No. But when I walked in the Peyton Randolph house, different.
Did you feel like maybe like a demonic presence?
I didn't. Again, I felt the entire time like there was a person behind me. And that person was going to. That's what I thought the entire time. I didn't feel anything like that. But there is a story of children being bitten and scratched, which, from what I understand, is demonic. Yeah, because
that's what I feel like it's demonic.
Yeah, that's a pretty well-known story about Peyton Randolph house as well. But did I feel that? No. Did I feel until I realized that until the guy's story was over and we were walking out of the house, I didn't even get scared.
Really? You didn't even
I was spooked out and scared and felt weird. But as far as what I heard, I wasn't scared. Because I still, in the back of my head, I felt like it was a guy. But then when we were leaving, I realized, oh, nobody jumped out. So that wasn't a part of this tour. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The entire time, my logical reasoning was saying, it's a part of the tour. It's part of the tour. It's part of the tour. And then I realized, okay, it's not a part of the tour anymore.
That's insane.
Because the tour's done. And the tour guide said no. I still didn't believe him. I went back the next day and realized he was right, and he was right because the whole room was blocked off with plexiglass. And I didn't want to heard it. My brother-in-law heard it too.
You heard it too?
Huh? Yeah.
Let's see.
So anyway, that's my ghost story. It's the only one I have. I've never had an encounter like that.
Oh, okay. We've got a link sent to me. Our buddy sent me a link Let's see. A woman in Nebraska was mistaken for dead at a nursing home. This was sent. Wow, this is like recent. Later found to be alive at a funeral home. Has now really died. So this lady that was mistaken to be dead, Constance Glantz, 74, was declared dead at a nursing home near the state capital of Lincoln. Now this is like recent. This was posted June 4th of this year. Staff at a local funeral home that was then brought to notice 2 hours later that she is still breathing. Are you slipping? Yeah, that's insane. You're insane.
That's my story. Make of it what you will. I mean, I understand anybody who says that's BS because that's what I would normally say. I the reason why it affected me is because I couldn't say that's BS. I could not figure out any way where me and my brother-in-law heard that where it wasn't something weird. Like it wasn't. I didn't see a ghost. I didn't hear a ghost. It's not. It wasn't something right in your face. It was very subtle. But it was. It was enough to where like it bothered me, and I never had anything like that happen. I've always had a logical explanation. So take it.
Yeah. So
however you want to. That's what happened.
it bothered him so much that I said, "Hold it! Don't tell me. I don't want to know the details. I want to do it online. I want to do it, stream it. I want people to hear his side of it because
That knows me. I don't. I laugh at
yes,
people that say they see ghosts. I last time
yeah, he's horrible. He's horrible.
just like there's a logic. I always say there's a logical explanation.
And I wanted to be. I wanted to hear the story the same time the stream. And so that's why I said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." But that's why I said, "Hey, hold up to the stories that you have. I want to do this. I want to be uh, uh, just like you guys and not know anything, and get firsthand account just like you did. And that way, you get my natural reaction just like you get your natural reaction. That was so I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did.
Wait. You asked me now that you've experienced something.
Yes.
How do I feel about it?
I'm sorry. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Asked me earlier. I really kind of thought about it, like because you said this is just the beginning, like it's going to continue.
Oh,
So nothing like this has continued to happen.
we had a conversation the other day, and he was telling me, "Hey, this blew my mind, and this is like this." And I said, "Well, how do you feel about it now?"
Yeah.
Because I've been through stuff, like I said earlier. And so then I asked him, I was like, "Well, welcome to the club. How do you feel about that?" And this is where this is where he was coming from.
I don't know what I answered then, but what I'll answer now that having a little bit of time to think about it, I love this. Even thinking, like, dude, that it's even creepier thinking that there's no logical explanation. And I don't have any, like, I've slept in my house, no problems. There's no ghosts following me. It's chance. Go fucking.
I've been to his room. He's got a proton pack and a ghost strap under his bed. He's hanging out. And he's flying.
Do the ghost tour. It's not a crap tour. They say ages 8 and up, and which is why we took the tour because we had several small, my niece, my nephew, my daughter. It was super creepy. It was a fun thing to do.
Yep.
It was very spooky, and I got a very crazy encounter that I can't explain. If you were there, maybe you could explain it. Maybe you think I'm full of crap. I don't know. Mine and now, do I say that it's a game or what it was? I can't tell you.
I get it, dude. I get it.
All I can say is there's no person in there. There was not a person in there.
And
That's
I 100% can feel you on that. If you have not heard my story about my haunted happenings, and would like to hit me up on my Instagram, it's at Bateman, or hit me up here, leave a comment here, and I will live stream it again. I've done it on Twitch before. I don't know. I don't even know. But I will live stream it. I will do whatever, and we'll go over it again, and then we'll have a conversation about it, and you guys can comment and whatever you want to do, and we can go back and forth on it. It's just it is what it is. I've had experiences, and you can either believe me or not. That's
it's hard to.
it's one of those. It's what it is.
It's like actually having this conversation with you is like it was so very subtle that I don't know if anybody's gonna. It's funny too. That's all I was laughing. It was so very subtle that I don't know if anybody would find the story even riveting or anything like that.
There's somebody out there.
But because it was subtle is why it bothered me so much. It wasn't in your face. It wasn't somebody going. "Bleh." It was somebody not to be.
And that's the crazy part about the post stories. Like if it's almost like whatever it didn't know it was dead. What's the case? It was paranormal.
No.
If it was paranormal, it's like almost like it didn't know.
If you dad still tell you to believe in this.
And I can't. I'm not arguing with you because I was arguing 10 years on it. And it still ain't working.
Again, I'm a hardcore born again hardcore freaking the skeptic, man. Like no joke. But I cannot sit here and be conscious and talk about it, man, and say that that was nothing. That was something. I don't know what it was. And if you don't believe me, don't believe me.
All right, so I got a comment, and I got to read it. It's great. Our buddy, I'm not going to say names, but he knows who he is, said, I look at it like alien abduction. You get butt probed, you believe. That is like 100%. I totally agree with that. But anyways, guys, appreciate you watching. Hopefully going to be doing some more streams. We've got some Bigfoot stuff coming hopefully soon. Maybe I don't know exactly how far we are away from getting out there again. But there's just so many things going on. Life happens. Bigfoot stuff going on. Storm chasing going on with me and my daughter. Like I said, it's got to hit Alabama first, but we're going to start doing that stuff. Live streams like this, talking about ghosts, maybe even bringing the beer stuff up. Whatever. Who cares?
Yourself some screwball.
Beer, alcohol, beer, liquor, whatever. Bringing that up again. So we're looking forward to bringing you more. I've got more stuff now that I can. Like I got this laptop now that I can stream anywhere now. I got my phone I can stream on. So
value.
Yeah. So we're more. I'm more. Got more leeway now, where I can be more out there for you guys. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed. If not, what would you say? I hope you enjoyed. Sorry. And we will see you guys later. Have a good night.